Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's Monday. I'm hoping to do a sort of week in the life in prep or kindergarten. So it is playtime already. I didn't get to film this morning, but basically on a Monday morning we do some routine things, get them ready for their new heart word of the week, do a bit of weekend writing, and now I'm preparing for maths, so I thought I'll flip you around and show you what we're going to do for maths today. So to start with, in maths today we're going to use Pevin and Sarah's supertising videos. So basically you just go into their section, they've got all these supertising videos. So you've got 1 to 5 supertising, or subitise, however you want to pronounce it, and then you've got 1 to 10 as well, and there's 6 episodes in each one. So we'll use that video. My kids absolutely love Pevin and Sarah, so we'll start with that. Then I've got these tens frame supertising cards, I think from Top Teacher, but I think these are from Top Teacher, but basically they just have numbers to 10 in the dots and they show them in a bunch of different ways. So we're going to talk about, I'll flash them first, then we'll talk about the different ways you can show the numbers. We might even do a bit of a sort, and then to finish off we're going to do a write the room, which is also from Top Teacher. So I have placed the little QR codes around the room, so there's 10 of them, and they'll use the iPads to scan the QR code and it brings up a number. So it'll bring up like the number 7, so numbers 1 to 10, and then they're going to use this sheet here, which printed funny, but I wasn't going to reprint it, to show what that number looks like on the tens frame. So if they get a number, like if they comes up with number 7, they'll do 7 dots in the tens frame, and I just put them on clipboards. I don't know if you've ever seen a 5-year-old with a clipboard, but it makes them feel so important. So I put them on a clipboard and they work with a partner and then just go around the room, and I've placed the little QR codes around the room. So there's one over there, all the way around the room, and they'll just scan. It's really good iPad skills, as well as the tens frames and what it looks like in a tens frame. So I'm just going to go ahead now and finish setting up the clipboards ready for the lesson, and then I'll check in with you at lunchtime and let you know what we're doing for the afternoon.
1, 2, 1.
So the kids are out at lunch now. We just finished our maths middle session and they had such a great time. I'm so lucky this year. I have such a calm, cooperative group of kids. So they worked in pairs to do the write the room activities. So they shared an iPad between them. They just took turns and they all recorded it on their own clipboard. Stuck that in. We did a quick think board for the number 10, and then they ate their lunch and they're ready to go. And in the middle of the session I got a flower delivery from my mum. She sent me these flowers to tell me that she loves me. It was so cute. Anyway, after this session, after lunch, we are going to do spelling. So I'll flip you around and show you what we're going to do. And also I was going to tell you that on Mondays at lunchtime, I tend to just make sure that I'm set up for the rest of the week. So do all my printing and anything else that I need to do. And I do tend to store that in my storeroom in here, which I just put the any printouts or anything that we're doing. So like tomorrow we're doing a shape sort with the stones, so that's in that tray there. We've got a game in here for maths that we've been playing, so I just tend to store all of this stuff in here ready for the week. And I got the Play-Doh mats and bingo boards and everything like that in here. The other thing I store in here is a spares caddy, so anything that is left over from cutting or pasting activities I pop in here. So this one is strips, this one is squares, this one's tissue paper. We've got the spare patty pans back here. Underneath we've got the bigger things like plates and circles and stuff, so I just tend to put all the spares in there as well. So that's one of my organisation tips for you. With spelling we use a program called Soundwaves. So these icons here are from Soundwaves. So we've got the mummy on the moon, ants on apples, and trotting tigers. Today we're going to start seal, swim, seal, slide. So you've got the seal and then the letter next to it. And then it's all online. It's a really great program. So this is just a drop down box. Drop it down, it gives you all the lesson for today. And then we're going to make seals, which I'm super excited about. So I've got these circles out here and paper, and I'll try and show you on my computer what we're going to do. So we're going to get these seals like this that are playing with the ball. It's really hard to focus when you're on the laptop, but I got these from Pinterest and thought they were super cute, so thought I would do that on there. I'm not sure if you want to see planning, but maybe I can tackle that in another video. On a Monday, I get out of here super quick, so I'll do my best to check in with you at the end of the day, but otherwise I will definitely check in tomorrow. And Wednesday, the kids have testing, so I'll kind of try to share a little bit of that with you. And yeah, I hope this video is helping everybody. I'll check in with you at the end of the day.
Ready? Let's take our hands onto our knees. And if you want, you can also close your eyes so you're totally focused on your listening.
It is Tuesday today, the 2nd of the 2nd, 22, and I'm in Australia, so we get to do Tuesday a little bit earlier than everybody else. But I haven't had time to check in with you yet for my week in the life, so I'm going to smash it out right now. It's lunchtime, the kids are outside playing, so I'll show you all the things we've gotten up to so far and what we're going to do after lunch. So we started off by reading A Pair of Pears and an Orange. Super cute social emotional book about including others and changing what you're doing so that it includes other people. And we also talked about the word pear being that it was Tuesday. So then we brainstormed all the pairs of things that we could think of. So then we did this little activity. So this person's drawn a pair of tigers, a pair of suns, a pair of hearts, a pair of trees. I think these are socks and flowers. We talked about a pair of socks, a pair of shoes. They had a good laugh with a pair of undies, all the things. Then I read them a little story, and I gave them this sheet where they had a number 2 and they had to turn their number 2 into something. So this person turned it into a mouse and this person turned it into a rocket ship or a spaceship. So they got really creative with that. So we did that, and then it was playtime, and after playtime we did some maths rotations. So I'll turn around and show you what we got up to in our rotations. Excuse the mess, but prep teacher life, it's how it is, isn't it? So I've got it all laid out here and I'll show you what we got up to. What number are you going to write? Come on, write a number. Good trying. What number is that? 16. 16. Good job.
Now only on me. That is not
No.
Miss Georgia, he's got not a raincoat.
That's an oval, so can you find the oval?
It's the oval.
There you go. Go around there, Griffin.
I don't leave it everywhere.
Nice. Number 2, Reggie. Good job. Can you do another one for us?
I want. It's not because of that.
You need a board to do that on, Billy. We're not playing with Play-Doh. We're doing numbers on a board. One of the rotations was this shape activity. This is from Stay Classy Classrooms. So I laid all of these shapes out on the table. So you've got all the 2D shapes, rectangle, circle, star, etc. And then you've got these rocks with all the pictures of real life objects. So the kids just in a group sorted those onto these cards. Obviously they found hexagons, pentagons and octagons quite tricky, but then they were able to do the hearts and the squares and diamonds and things like that. So that was a good activity. Then we also did Play-Doh number formations. So these number formation mats are from You Clever Monkey. And a little Tuka hack, I store my Play-Doh in tiny little containers so that they know they can't mix the colours. So I just lay those out and then I put the mats out like this, and we talk about rolling it into a sausage and trying to start it here and getting it to go around. So there's all the numbers in there. We did number formation with the salt. So what I do is I pop these, what we do is we pop these underneath the plastic container like this, so that when they write their numbers they can see, like this is a 1, they can see the rainbow underneath. And I gave them these cards to use as a starting point. So they've got the number rhyme on them, so they know. So they practice along here, 7, and then they wrote it in the box. So they flatten that out and write 7 in the box, and then they would just rub it out and do the next one. So that was one other activity that we did. And the last rotation we did for maths today was this Tuesday colouring activity. So if it is a 2, they colour it in blue, and if it's not, they colour it in yellow. And this person has done a really good job with the colouring, so she wasn't quite finished, but you can see that it ends up being a 2. As I've mentioned previously, we use the Komochi program for social emotional learning. If you don't know about that, you should definitely look it up, and I do plan on doing a separate video on that because it's a super great program. So each week we introduce a new character from the Komochi program. This week I introduced Kat, and Kat loves to have tea parties, so I have transformed the room here at lunchtime today into a tea party. The kids don't know, they're going to get such a big surprise, and I'll show you what it's set up like, and then we're going to read Kat's story. So each Komochi character comes with a picture storybook, and we discuss the message in the story. Kat can be really bossy, but also is a great leader. So we look at the at how Kat can manage those character traits and the feelings that Kat has around being cranky, but also being very curious and a good leader and a good questioner and things like that. So I'll turn you around and show you the tea party setup. I'm so excited. So I moved all the tables into one straight line, and I've put Kat at the head of the table, so she is the tea party host. And one of Kat's things is she loves to host tea parties, and she loves cookies and milk. So I've set out a cup for each student with a little doily as a placemat, and I just got some flowers in the jars there to dress up the table a little bit. And then I have milk and cookies for the kids to eat for the tea party. And then we'll read Kat's story and do a bit of role play and act it all out. And then if we have time, we'll do a little bit of artwork at the end. So that is how our Tuesday is going so far, or our Tuesday. Tomorrow we have testing, so we won't have the kids. They'll come one-on-one. I think I have 6 kids I see tomorrow. But I'm so excited for them to see the tea party. I think they're going to love it. They have no idea what we're doing. So they're going to walk into the room transformed and everything like that. Morning everyone, it is Wednesday. I have just dropped my dog Rosie off at doggy daycare. It's about 7:20 and I'm heading into school. It's another 15 minutes from here, and today I don't have the kids, so I'm doing testing all day. I think I have 6 kids coming to see me today, so I'll run you through when I get to school what tests we do and what data we collect on these days, and show you some of my preparation for tomorrow. Hi everyone, I have finished my day of testing. I didn't get to film anything because it's pretty crazy, back-to-back testing on the kids. So I thought I'd just run through the testing that we do, the assessments that we do at the start of the year. So our preps have every Wednesday off for the first 5 weeks of term, and they come in one-on-one for 45 minutes, or half an hour, sorry. We spend 10 minutes with the parents and 20 minutes with the kids-ish, and then go from there. So yeah, I thought I'd share with you the tests that we do. So the first thing we do is a letter and sound identification test. So it's out of 54. I used ESGI this year, which I'll link below, which is a computer system that calculates the answers, everything for you, the results and all of that. I used a trial, so I'm on a 60-day trial. Just to have a try at it. So it's not something I'll be able to use long term, but it was good to try. But otherwise we usually do it on a hard copy sheet that just looks like this. So you can see we just tick whether they got the letter name or the sound or both, and we record that down. So that's one of the assessments that we do. We also do a record of oral language. So the record of oral language test is a series of sentences that you say to the prep, and they repeat it back to you. And if they get anything incorrect in the sentence, we mark that down, and it's marked as incorrect. It is out of 42, and there's 3 levels. So you start on level 2. If they don't get many of those right, we go back to level 1, or we go forward to level 3 if they do get lots of the level 2 ones right. So they were really good. The other English one we do is Heggerty. So many of you probably have heard of Heggerty before, but this is Heggerty here. So it's basically a phonological or phonemic, awareness assessment. So it tackles rhyme, syllables, onset rhyme, initial sounds, final sounds. Just takes you through a series. It's all scripted, so it's a full booklet. This is the foundation one, and it's all scripted, so it tells you exactly what to say to the kids, gives you examples, and then gets them to do the rest. This is the first year we've used Heggerty, and I'm really happy with the results. It's really giving us specific things that the kids need to work on rather than just generalizing if they can do syllables or not. It's giving us specific things around, some kids can recognize rhyme but they can't produce it, or vice versa. Some kids can hear a syllable but they can't break a word down on their own, so it's giving us the differences there. So really loving Heggerty. Heggerty also has a program that comes with it that allows you to follow the program after the fact. So we won't necessarily be using the whole program, but the assessment is really good. For maths, we do a prep assessment schedule screener. So it just basically looks like this, and we just go through lots of oral language stuff. So can you count until I say stop? Usually I stop around 33, 34. So many preps say 29 and then they can't go any further than that. And other kids go up to 20 and then they go 21, 22, 23, 24, and then they get to 29 and then they go back to 21, 22. Anyway, so we do that. Then we talk about what comes after 5, what comes after 9, and there's 2 levels. So if they get all of those ones correct, then you can go to the further tasks. What comes after 19, what comes after 23, what comes after 70, what comes after 99. And then we show them little cards with some numbers on them. So first we do 1 to 10 in random order. What number is this? What number is this? And then we also have some random numbers from 1 to 100 that we show. Can they count backwards from 5? Then can they count backwards from 10? And then you can challenge them, can they count backwards from 15? That really shows you if they can count backwards from a random number, if they actually know their numbers or if they know them rote memory wise, just counting on. Then we ask them what number comes before a number. So what comes before 4, what comes before 17. And of course, with the further tasks, you go higher into the double digit numbers. Then we get them to show us their fingers on their hands. So show me 3 fingers, show me 2 fingers, etc. We do a small little bit of supertising with some flashcards. And then we get them to count out 8 counters out of a group of 20 to see if they can one-to-one count. The last thing we do is a little additive task where you put 5 counters underneath a piece of card and 3 counters under another piece of card. And you hide the counters with the cards and see if they can add them up. Most kids will be able, some kids can't do it at all, that's fine. Some kids know to count on their fingers, but a lot of them start from 1 instead of counting on. And then after that task, there's one where we just add more counters. So instead of it being 5 and 3, it's 9 and 4. And my favorite is when the kids say to me, Miss Georgia, I don't have enough fingers to do that one. So that just really shows you where they're at as far as adding and doing mathematical concepts. So they are the tests that we do on that day. I actually did my letter IDs in class time, just when they were working away, just pick one kid out and tick them away, which just helps me in my sessions on the Wednesday not have to try and cram so much in. If someone is demonstrating that they are really good with their sounds and really good with their phonemic awareness, I will also do a book with them, a running record. So I had a couple of little cherubs today read me, just a level 1 or a level 2 text. And if they're on text, then I obviously bump their readers up and give them a little bit more of a challenge. So I only do that with the kids that I think are ready or maybe reading. Otherwise I don't give them the book, and we just work on sounds. So that's basically what we do. I've got a few more kids to go next week, and it's really good data to get us going on what we should be focusing on. Do we need to cover rhyme? Are they all good with that? And from there, obviously we're going to touch on things and revise things, but how deeply we need to go into it. And also just gives us a starting point to work out what their growth is like at mid-year and then at the end of the year. So they're the tests we do. Obviously we do so much observational notes during the first part of the year, but I thought I would just share with you what we get up to on the Wednesdays. I've spent the afternoon preparing for tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to do some religion because we are a Catholic school and we're heading up to church as well. In the middle block, I am so lucky. We have an extra teacher at our school in every year level. So in the middle block, our other teacher, our learning support teacher, will take half of my class and I'll keep half for 45 minutes, and then we swap. So I get to have, 8 or 9, 10 kids in a group and then swap over. So we're going to do some sentence work in that time, and tomorrow afternoon we're doing starting our inquiry topic around living and non-living things. So I will show you all of that tomorrow. I'm super excited because I'm going to Ocean Alley tonight, the band, if anyone knows them. I'm so excited. I've had the tickets for like 2 years. We're finally getting to go after COVID, so I'm going to get out of school and drive to Melbourne, go to Ocean Alley, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Probably really tired with my eyes half closed, but that's okay. Hi everyone, we have just finished Thursday. I haven't had the chance to check in yet until now. I don't know what this is on my face, weird. Anyway, I was really late to school this morning because of my Ocean Alley concert last night, which was so good, but it meant that I didn't get time to check in, and then we have our schools under review, so I had meetings and so many things. So this is my first time checking in, so I'm just going to run through the day really quick before I head home. So we are a Catholic school, so this morning we took the preps to church. It was so cute. The questions they asked were so funny. First of all, they were mistaken, and they thought that Father was Jesus, and asked him, why did you get placed on that X? That was the question. Then we unpacked that, and then another question was, how do you know if we're naughty or nice? So the assumption was that he was also Santa. And then he said something about Easter, and someone said, oh, my birthday's on Easter. So then we had all these people put their hands up about their birthdays, and it was very funny. But they then did ask some really good questions. When we came back from church, we drew a picture of what we saw at church, and with just a little heading that says, I went to church and I saw, and they just drew what they saw. So lots of them are very hung up on the whole idea that Jesus was hanging on the cross and all of that sort of thing. So they drew that. And then we had playtime. After playtime, we had half classes, which is amazing. So our learning support teacher took half of my class, and I kept half of my class. And what we did was an activity from Miss Learning Bee. So I'm going to get one of the kids' work out to show you exactly what it was. Okay, so this is what we did today. So first of all, we talked about the difference between a word and a sentence. And we also talked about the things that we can already sound out based on the sounds we've covered. So we've covered the a sound, the sound, the s sound, and the t sound. So we had I here, which most of them knew, and we had the k sound that they didn't know, so we talked about that. We talked about the finger spaces and the full stop. Then together we read it. So I gave them these little eyeball things to pop on their fingers, and together we read it out loud multiple times, 2 or 3 times in fact. And then we did this activity. So this is from Miss Learning Bee. So this was in a strip that I gave them. They cut it up and they glue it on in order, copying the sentence, and then they have a go at writing it. Now Miss Lulu's handwriting is pretty good, but some of them really struggled with this part of it just because they're not sure how to write the letters properly yet. And then for the higher group, to extend them, we then got their whiteboards out and they wrote the word cat, and then they wrote some rhyming words, and they established that because they now know how to write cat, that they also know how to write bat and mat and sat and things like that. And for the rest of the class, we just stuck with this activity. So we did that in the 2 half classes, and then it was lunchtime. After lunch, we started our inquiry unit, which we're doing. We are going to eventually get into Australian animals, native animals, but we've started with living and non-living things. So what I did was I gave the kids, I put them into groups of 3, and I gave them a poster paper and a whole bunch of pictures, and as a group they had to sort them. So we sorted them 3 times. The first time they sorted them based on what they thought, living, non-living, and we didn't really talk about what makes something living or non-living. It was very much a pre-assessment. Then I brought them together and I looked at these cards here, which are from Stay Classy Classrooms. So then we talked about there we go. We talked about that living things grow, that they breathe, that they eat, and that they reproduce. And then the kids went back to their groups and they resorted the pictures based on that. So they ask themselves questions like, does it grow? Does it breathe? Does it reproduce? Those sorts of things. After that, I noticed that a lot of them had moved things from living into non-living, but they'd still left plants and trees in the non-living section. So I brought them back together and we discussed that, and then they went back and for a third time sorted them out, and then they glued them. So I'll just show you up here what it looked like. So these are their posters and they've put them up here. So they just had all the pictures. The pictures are from Stay Classy classrooms as well. And they just literally put them in the living or non-living section on their poster paper. After that, we came together and we discussed what humans need to survive. Bless their little souls, hugs and love. So cute. Exercise, sleep, someone used the word energy, water. They need to go to the toilet. That was a really interesting one for them to bring up, but they talked a lot about how, you know, our body will fill up and things, and it was really good because they didn't get silly, which I thought they might have. And then they said they have to listen to others. It was so cute. And they have to be safe, eat food and air and all of that. And then just to finish off, they did a drawing of 4 things that they need to survive and coloured it in. So you can see some of those. They've picked out 4 things that they need to survive.
Lion is alive, and this thing's not alive.
So that was our day. We had a super fun day. The kids had a great time. Next time we do living and non-living, we're going to go looking for living and non-living things out in the park near our school. And so tomorrow we've got assembly, we've got P&P, which I'll explain tomorrow, iPad time and some artwork to do, and it is a birthday in here tomorrow. So cute. So I've set up a little birthday surprise for the birthday girl. So she gets her little bag from me. It says, wish you a very happy birthday. I hope you have a wonderful day. And inside they get a little Play-Doh container. And then I've got my birthday badge, birthday stickers, and some confetti and streamers ready for her for tomorrow. So that is me done for the day. I'm heading off to get some supplies from Kmart, a teacher's best friend's shop, and then I'm heading home for a rest, and I'll be back tomorrow. Bye. Happy Friday! We made it! Woohoo! I have just finished my week at work. I honestly have had such a great week. This year I just feel so calm. I don't know whether it's my class or I feel organised or something. I don't know, but at school, this is so annoying. At school, I just feel so calm, so organised, so ready for every day, feeling really good. Fingers crossed it stays that way. I know it's only term 1. But today we did P&P, which is a perceptual motor program. Obviously, I can't really show you much of that because the kids are all in the footage, but basically we work on coordination, throwing and catching, balancing, crossing the midline, all the things. So we take all 60 preps up to the gym and we use the gym space. We rotate through activities. They love it. We play music and they have the great time. So that's what we do for the morning. In the middle block, we rotate. So we did iPads, music, and outdoor learning. I took the iPad rotation, and so I have all 3 classes in rotation. And today we did a seesaw activity. So we learned about the activity sections. I've just had to change from my phone because my camera died, which is so annoying. We finished our cat artwork today, so the kids put their ears and their mouths on them, and they're so cute because they all have the little personalities. This one has its eyes looking at the side, and then there's like this one. Ooh, whoopsie. This one, which is super cute. So we did that, and then we did a Noah's Ark story, and then it was home time, and I cannot wait to go home. I'm so excited for the weekend, feeling really positive though about school, and I'm looking forward to getting back here next week. Thank you for joining me on this week in the life. I'm sorry I don't get to show you a whole lot outside of me, like kind of giving you a little rundown. Need to get better at that, filming more. But sorry about the camera shake. Woo. But it's been fun, and hopefully this has given you some insight into what we do in the classroom. Please let me know if you have any videos you'd like to see. I definitely want to do a Komochi video to explain that program a little bit more. But if you want to see more planning or anything, I don't know, hit the subscribe, hit the like, comment, do all the things. Follow me on Insta, follow me on TPT, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.